his energy just vibed, and he's like, hey, man, I can't keep having you just sell construction. We don't do that here.
Right.
He's like, but can I give you $10,000 to start your own company?
Wow.
And I was like, no. Like,
Right.
my pride, right?
Sure.
The pride popped up, and I'm like, I can't do that. He's like, okay, so here's the deal.
What's up, guys? I'm sure you're enjoying the podcast. It's fucking awesome. I know. Okay. But let's talk about one of my sponsors, Alpine Moving Company. So we all know that moving sucks. Okay. Stop asking your buddies to fucking move you. It's always a problem. We know that. Be an adult. So use Alpine Moving Company. They know how to get the shit done. They offer residential and commercial moving. Also, they will move you anywhere within North America, anywhere in the lower 48, Canada, Mexico. And they're going to hook you up with 10% off. So discount code MOVE24. Make the right move.
I'm going to pay you and send you to school to get your general contractor's license.
Okay.
And then after you're done with that, and you kind of go out starting on your own, I'll let you collect unemployment.
There we go. All right.
And I'm like,
get you some runway. Get you on your own. Yep.
And I'm like, okay. I can swallow my pride for that.
Yeah.
Like, you're not stroking me a check.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can stomach that.
Yeah, I can live with that.
So about the time all this is going down, the dude that I knew forever in AA, he calls me up one morning, like, dude, like 7 o'clock in the morning, which is crazy for this guy to be even out of bed. He's like,
you're thinking bad news if he's calling that early, right? Yeah.
Well, he's like, hey man, can you come help me clean up this fire? And I'm like, what do you mean fire? Like, you want me to bring a Windex over?
Yeah, we're bringing some shovels. We're getting rid of a body. What are we doing here? I mean, I'm in, but I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, like, come on, I got to know the whole thing.
Yeah.
Come to find out, like, he had a total fire loss at his house.
Oh, man.
The whole thing went up in smoke. And so I'm doing the unemployment because I'm unemployed. And he's like, hey, how about I pay you a little something under the table, and then we'll split the profits on my fire loss while you get your business off the ground.
There we go. Okay.
So now I got him giving me a little something. I got unemployment coming in. So then I just hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Like, he's a GC, but he does commercial. So he can pretty much run most of his own house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. It all kind of fell into place.
Yeah.
Again, back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's all by design.
Well, I like to say that there's no luck. It's just preparation and like being prepared for opportunity.
Right.
So had you not had these things ready to go, had you not had the preparation, had the looking for opportunity, you would have taken that phone call, cleaned up, and gone. Like, that's it. Like, because you weren't ready. You would not have been ready for that. You were ready when the opportunity came. And that's just people think that's luck. Some people will hear that story. It's not a lucky story. You just got lucky. No, dude.
I don't think there's anything about luck.
Luck is such a term that I hate because it's like, you can use luck as like in gambling. Maybe that's it. Like, you can play blackjack and get lucky. Sure. And there's strategy in blackjack. But the point is, like, that's not luck. I was prepared and opportunity came. I was ready to go. Kick the door in. You kick enough doors in, one's going to have a pot of gold at the end of that thing, you know? Like,
it's the law of averages, right?
Exactly. So I love when people, must be nice, or you got lucky. It's like, man.
It's not.
If you think that, you're never going to get me anyway, so keep thinking that, you know?
So I don't know if anybody's ever said this, but they probably should have, because I don't think I'm that smart to come up with it on my own. But I may have. I'm not sure.
Right.
But
I have those moments too. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Can't be that smart.
It's got to be out there.
Right.
But what I tell people all the time, and I love it, I think I'm going to put it on a shirt or something, dude. Discipline, not desire, determines destiny.
Yeah, I like that. That's a T-shirt.
That's a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've never seen it, so I don't know if it's out there. But like, and I like it's all D's, you know, it just flows. And I'm like, and I try to tell people that all the time. Like, it's not, it doesn't change overnight.
No, over time it does.
Over time it does.
Yeah.
So
not overnight, over time.
Now, if you got overtime and you're making that one little decision every single day to put you closer, is that not discipline? Yeah,
that's definition of that discipline. Yeah. Yep.
So
or
like
doing something. Yeah. Go ahead.
You can want all you want. Like my dad always said, want one hand, shit in the other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like, it's not that you want it, you don't desire it.
Right.
It's the discipline.
Yep.
That's going to determine.
People misquote things all the time. Oh, you got to want it. Yeah. You can want from your couch too.
Yeah.
You can want whatever you want. You can want a blowjob, sit on the couch, never get one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to put the reps in. You got to put the work in behind it. You can't just want something.
That's
wanting it may be the first step. We could almost agree that, hey, you want something cool, your brain triggers, you want it. That's step one.
Sure.
Then you've got to beyond that, you got to put some discipline in and
Yeah.
put the work in. And that's when you get lucky at the end, because all that shit came in. Now you get lucky, right? But yeah, I love that story, and I love that your mentality, right? I think that's why we jive so well, because, you know, I'm not going to try to relate to alcoholism as far as like my struggles, but I've got other struggles that, you know, could be different. But yeah, that's the mentality and the mindset shift that comes.
Sure.
Is the opener from whatever you can, you know, struggles is universal, whatever it is, right? It's then the mindset shift that has to happen, and from whatever issues you had before, you shift it. That's when you can have progress.
I think that's a defining difference in people, though, is we're all going to have adversity, and we're all going to have struggles and problems and shit that we need to overcome in our lives. I mean, that's part of being human.
And part of it is like, fuck, nobody cares. Like,
They
they don't
don't.
have problems.
Nuh-uh.
I love telling that. Like, man, nobody cares about your problems more than you do. And not because they can't, not because they truly don't care. It's because they've got their own shit to worry about. You can talk to somebody about their problems, and deep down, man, like,
You're going to be your own worst judge.
Yeah, you're on your own. Like,
there's nobody yelling in your ear louder than the dude in your head.
Yes, that's so important to get control of that dude too. You know, it's like my buddy's got a. God, don't want to misquote this, but he's got a saying he'll tell his doctor. He's like, hey, if we go down that road, like, he's like, the guy driving that bus, he goes, the man was, how's he word it? God, I want to call him and get it right. But he's like, the guy driving that bus, him and I lost communication about 5 minutes ago. So we better not, you know, like, however it is, like, he goes, the person in charge, he goes, him and I lost communication. It's like, it's his guy's driving now, right? So it's like, yeah, be careful. The guy in your head, you got to make sure you're in constant communication with them and you're in control of that. And like, and it's like, we're joking about that, but it's so real, because some people can get to where they talk themselves into or out of anything.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, I'm not a bad drinker. I can handle my booze. And you can convince yourself these things forever. And everyone else can be telling you, hey, dude, you're a fucking problem. And you're like, no, I'm fine. Or
the power of suggestion's huge.
Yes. And the better you are at convincing yourself, the more of a problem it is.
There you got it.
Or if you go the other way and convince yourself it's never going to work, I can't quit my job.
That's
I can't
exactly what it's going to do.
Yeah, and that's what's going to work. So like, you've got to have the right intention behind your thoughts, because you can get so far fucked so quick if you convince yourself bad things, you know?
Well, and kind of what you come back to, like the poor mentality, right? You know, like
definitely, yeah.
You could almost say that's a negative mindset.
Right.
Kind of synonymous, right?
Absolutely is, yeah.
So those people that are like, oh my God, this sucks, that happened, oh, this went down. Like, why do you sit there and think about it and talk about it and regurgitate this shit over and over and over? You know there's a problem.
Yeah.
Stop thinking about it. The problem's over and done with.
Yep.
Now you need to focus on what it's going to take to overcome that.
I tell people all the time, you get 5 minutes to cry about something. That's it.
Yeah.
Get over it. The sooner you get over it, you're done. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Give yourself 5 minutes to grieve and fucking boom up and get out of it. Like,
I think it was Elon Musk or something that he said, you know, the mark of a man is not how many mistakes he makes, but how he overcomes those mistakes.
oh yeah, for sure. Because we're going to make mistakes.
Abs-
That's part of it.
That's part of life.
That's actually
man.
what I want to talk about next. So like, you get started with R&M.
Sure.
And you're obviously, well, it sounds like off to a hot start with these things that you got lucky with, right?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
you get a little bit of luck going.
Totally.
Yeah. So now you've got some things rolling. What was your first roadblock? First, like, oh, fuck, this isn't all that easy. What was your first one like that?
You know, getting the level of licensing that I needed.
Okay.
I had to have a little bit of connections with people to, I mean, essentially lie about the extent of experience that I had for some of these municipalities.
Really?
Not that I wasn't
Are connections
qualified.
envelopes full of cash or what?
No, I wish.
I always say, I'm like,
Dude, I just
wish there was
started,
an
bro.
envelope.
There's
I
no
know.
envelope
Yeah.
full of cash.
I know. Sometimes I just wish the world still ran in envelopes full of cash, you know? Makes things so much easier.
If you're in Washington, they do.
Not official financial advice, by the way.
It just depends what position you're in.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the higher up, the bigger the envelope.
Right.
Yeah.
Start getting those manila envelopes, gets expensive. So you got some struggles getting your licensing. You get all that behind you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming things get lucky again after that, right? You get some momentum behind you.
It's totally luck. It's
Yeah,
100% luck. I just roll the dice every day and just pray to God that something happens in my favor.
Oh, you know I'm messing. But like,
It's
okay.
great.
So now you get the first hurdle behind you. You got some success going.
Sure.
What's your average day like? What is it? Is it quoting jobs? Is it what's your, talk me through your Monday through Friday.
I've been fortunate thus far to have a great start in the past couple of years. This is year 3 that we're going into now.
Yeah.
And then about halfway, 3/4 of the way through the year last year, I got somebody that I trust that I can put out there and start my production.
Nice.
So he's going to run production 100%. So ultimately now
that frees you up to do.
You got it.
Yeah.
But one thing I didn't realize here that I'm starting to realize now.
Yeah.
Now that I have somebody running my production, now there's a lot of other administrative things that go along with the production moving along quicker.
Okay.
So now there's a lot more checks going out. There's a lot more books to maintain because I do all that. I don't have an accountant or a bookkeeper or anything. Like I literally handle every aspect of the company right now.
So did you learn with that production guy that maybe there's other holes to fill slowly one by one, or what?
As I think the volume increases, there definitely is, because I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to be able to estimate now. I'm going to be able to get out there and crank out these estimates for these clients.
And then you need an estimator.
Yeah,
and then you need a bookkeeper.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's a slow, you got to do it the way you're doing it, because if you just hire all the wrong people to start, you're fucked.
They're doomed to fail.
Right.
Yep.
Or if you hire nobody ever, equally, you're stuck here. Right.
Yes.
So like, it's cool you found that out on your own.
Yeah.
And now you're, okay, cool. What's
So
the
I
next?
was hoping to do estimating most of the days.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, now, with the hailstorm, like I don't technically do insurance work anymore, but friends and family and referrals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've got 40 roofs to do. And then I just bring on dudes. So like every single one of those roofs has got to get a permit. They all got to be turned back in the insurance carrier. You got to fight with the adjusters to get what you're actually supposed to.
Yeah.
Screw insurance companies, by the way. Just throwing it
Not
out there.
life insurance companies.
Not life insurance. Not life insurance.
Not all insurance is created equal.
I'm perfectly happy with my life insurance.
That's good to hear. You heard it here. That's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt.
But yeah, man, it's just consumed a lot of time. So now I'm like,
what's the next hole that you fill, you think? Because you've seen it work. You see that it was almost necessary. It is necessary.
Yeah.
So what's the next hole you think you fill?
Because ultimately I need to be in a spot where I'm estimating these jobs.
Okay,
that's
so
where I need to be.
You want to fill the holes around that, then leave yourself open for just estimating.
Yeah, until I can find somebody that actually knows what they're doing when it comes to estimating. That's going to be probably the most difficult hole to fill.
Yeah,
because we use Xactimate, and it's a difficult program to learn. Like there's a lot of caveats to the program, but I need them to be able to estimate the way I estimate.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of instruction I'd have to teach somebody. So I think the next hole is probably some sort of bookkeeping or something like that to try and alleviate some of that, where they can call in permits and, fill them out and turn in plans.
Like an admin, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think that
would free you up a lot more for, get you really where your best, you have to really find where your best hour per day is spent. Right?
Sure.
And I found with my business, like, my best time is not spent on fucking with my CRM.
No.
Right, my CRM is and it's a work in progress. I'm doing better with that, but I've got somebody on my team I really pushed it on him because he's better at that, right? So like for me, my best time spent during the day is in front of clients, whether it's new clients, whether it's finding new clients or going over the insurance with a current client, right? That's my best ROI for my day.
Sure.
So like figuring that out was like, okay, where do I shine the most? Where do I need to fill in holes behind me? Because I can't do it all.
But when you start, you don't have any choice but to do it all.
Exactly, and I did that. And then I'm like, okay, cool. What's the first thing I'm going to try and sub out? Cool, get an assistant, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun figuring those things out though, because there's no one tells you, no one. You're just on your own.
And you can get advice from so many different people who own their own business, who have done this, who've multi-million-dollar businesses that are just thriving and rocking and rolling, and they can tell you and tell you and tell you until you're blue in the face how to run things.
Yeah.
But it's not the same.
But it's also not how Mark Peters wants to do it.
Exactly.
That's it. It's your call. So it's like, take the advice from 10 people, blend it together, and make it your own thing. And that's what I do. I have a coach. I've got friends I've got other influences in my life that I take advice from all of them, and I make my own shit work. Not just, and plus my own ideas too. But not just, you can't take advice from one person.
Yeah, it's called critical thinking.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just take, hey dude, he says do this. No, cool. I like your input. I'm going to take some more input and see what the answer looks like.
I mean, if I believed everything somebody told me, I'd watch CNN all the time.
Exactly. Can't have that. We can't have that at all. So what, Ace, I'm gonna have you pull some pictures up here on the screen. We'll talk about some of the projects you've worked on, but before we get there, what are some goals you've got? Like you made it, or you're making it, right? So I don't think 3 years ago maybe you thought you'd be here. So maybe hard to predict the next 3 years.
You know, the number one thing I try to wake up with every single morning, and I've got this on a vinyl in my house. Like when I walk down the stairs, the very first thing, like as I start my day, is this vinyl that says that gratitude is not only the parent of all virtues, but the greatest of all virtues.
Just being grateful.
Absolutely. If you don't have gratitude, man, like none of this works.
Yeah.
None of this works. I try to always tell people that I've got the secret to life, man. And like I tell them, and I tell them, no, I don't. I give it away for free, bud.
Well, it's not a secret then. If you can't.
I mean, I'll give you the secret.
Should we stop recording?
No, I mean it's okay. It's PG.
Okay, all right.
It's super simple.
This is R-rated, so go.
Oh, okay, we're good.
Now let's hear. What's your secret?
It's two things, man.
Yeah.
Make decisions out of love.
Okay.
And be of service to other people.
That's great.
That's it.
And what's cool about those, I think I already do those without knowing that was a secret or knowing that was a way. You know what I mean? Like when you say that, I'm like, oh, I make those decisions.
I do that pretty consistently, right? Again, we're back to how you vibe.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think people like you and me and quality individuals that kind of have those core values have a tendency to do it already.
Yeah, just not even thinking that that's a thing.
Yeah.
We're doing a version of that. Well, that's why things are working. Things are, okay, cool. It makes sense now. You know?
I think that there's a lot of humanity that doesn't.
Oh, for sure, dude. People suck.
They suck.
Overall, people suck. Individually, people are awesome, but, you know, most people suck. Let's pull up some pictures. Let's look at some projects you've done. Because this was, you know, before we started filming, we were looking through some of the shit, and one of the before and afters I was looking at, I thought I was looking at two different projects, and it was the big project. It was like this commercial thing. And I'm like, oh, it was pretty cool. Let's talk through this first one with the this commercial one. I'm gonna go out of the way here.
Well, that's kind of like midway through.
Yeah, go back to the picture with just the pickup in it, Ace. So where is this project at?
So that's off 52nd Avenue there in Denver.
Okay.
So this is kind of a funny story too. So
what did this place start out as? What is this, a warehouse, standalone building? Or
standalone building, empty warehouse that the company didn't use. So this is a multi-billion-dollar a year company. Okay. And they pulled me into this project, and they're like, hey, we want to turn this into a sales pit. You know, we want to sell stuff. We want the public coming through here.
Okay.
This is where we need it to be. And then they tell me that they don't want to pull a permit.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm like,
billion with a B.
Why?
You don't get to billions without pulling fucking permits. You know what I mean? Whatever industry. But any industry you're in, if you get to where there's a B there,
like,
you had to pull a fucking permit.
Are you guys sure?
Yeah.
You don't want to pull a permit.
Yeah.
Because a year from now when you have your fire inspection, that's going to come around to bite you in the ass.
Yeah, or you go to sell or anything.
Anything.
Right.
Anything.
Yep.
So we get it all demoed out. Like all the little stuff that you saw there in the beginning, we get it all demoed out. And then this bigwig guy calls me from somewhere in Florida. And he's like, well, Mark, we've been doing some thinking, and we think it's probably a pretty good idea to pull a permit. Well, if you're in the construction industry, you know that they're going to all this green stuff now, right?
Yeah.
So in that particular county, which it's not Denver County, it's another county, they require you to recycle all your demo materials.
And demo's already done, hauled away.
You got to document it, and you're going to have asbestos testing and all this stuff that's supposed to happen before you do anything.
And you're already done with all of it. Great.
And I'm like,
all right, fuckface. Thanks for fucking throwing that in my face now. Thanks for making this hard project a difficult project.
Yeah, man. So I think I don't have a ton of stress throughout my day. Like we all get stressed out, but like things like that,
that's
really stress me out.
Yeah, no shit.
Where I'm like,
So let's
why in the hell didn't you tell me this from the beginning, man?
Yeah.
Like now I'm sitting here in a pinch.
You look like shit now, going and asking for permits and
yeah, like if it gets ugly.
So what are these walls like? You said the
So that's the back side of the storage space on the right there.
Okay.
You know, so that was basically untouched from the last one.
okay. Nice little kitchen in there.
Yeah,
Nice.
a little kitchenette, a little bar top, and
You know, if they're on
so
break all the time in the fucking kitchen, they're not selling shit. you
They
know?
aren't selling shit if
Fuckers.
they're back there. But this is kind of the stage of where it's at now. We got a
Nice.
little bit to do furthermore, but I mean, you wouldn't even recognize the
That's so
space,
cool,
like
dude.
you said.
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't even know these were
No,
the
I didn't know.
same project.
I had no idea. I was like, okay, I was looking for the before and after in these green pictures, and it wasn't there. I
Yeah.
dig it though. Let's look at what about residential project? You doing residential?
We
work?
do a ton of residential,
Yeah, let's
man.
pull up some of those
You know, and
pictures.
that's kind of I don't want to say it's my bread and butter. I want to say that's kind of where I came from. You know,
Yeah.
that's